Today's podcast is brought to you by StrongHeartAcademy.com, where no heart is no victory. We are also brought to you by BJJ To Go. If you want to build your game and learn jiu-jitsu, go to bjjtogo.com. Third thing we're brought to you by is Rat Bat. You got rats? Want to kill bats? Kill them with a rat bat. Fourth thing we're brought to you by is hot dog flavored water ingredients. If you want to add it to your smoothie, hot dog flavor ingredient. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about importance of raising your kids, and that sounds kind of stupid, and how you raise your kids, and obviously this is all just opinion. During the pandemic, or whatever, I guess we're still in the pandemic, whatever, everything's closed down. We were worried about our business here at Strong Heart. Instead of not working or working from home, whatever, I came to my gym. I refilmed all my curriculum. I reshot it, edited it, and then designed a new curriculum. And so I doubled down on work. I didn't work less. I worked more. And I felt like we're in survival mode. This is end of the round. I got to win this round. I've been taking a beating, and I got to put him away, for analogy, I guess. So in my mind, and I think when you're a guy or father, you tell yourself, I'm working this hard for my kids. I'm the provider, because at my house I am the only provider. My wife is a great mother, and she stays home, so we kind of do it more traditional, which I thought was always great. My kids always did good in school, and I always thought it was because my wife was home and to help them, and she read to them and everything, and they were already kind of prepared for school before the first day, and then we did preschool and all that kind of stuff. But I think it's been great to have my wife home, but that means I have to provide, the money so we can have a place to stay, and food and transportation and healthcare, and you pay, I don't know, 5-6 types of insurance for all. They got to get their billions, so you got to have money for all these things, and you tell yourself, oh, I'm working for them. But sometimes it's like, what am I working for here? We're provided for. When is it okay to cut back and just be around more, be around your kids? I was really just worked to the bone, and I took a Saturday off, which is, I work 6 days a week. I take Sundays off, was my family day, and I would take my kids to church, and but there was no church for a long time either. So I made a church here for a while at my gym. But then that turned into work too. That wasn't rest either. It was just work. And then, so church started open back up. That was good. But then I said, we need a break. Let's do something. I was supposed to do a camping trip, but that felt like more work too. So we went to up north, went to Bearzona with the kids, and it was just me, my wife, and my kids. And I realized how much I have not done that in 6 months, where we went somewhere, where things weren't closed down and you weren't supposed to be out or whatever. And I'm sure some people say you're still not supposed to be out, but you're in your own car at Bearzona, driving through the park or whatever. And everyone had masks there, and we showed up late. There was no one there even. It was pretty empty. But it opened my eyes to oh my goodness, I'm not spending enough time with my kids, and they were so happy to just be around, nothing more than that. And my kids trained jiu-jitsu with me, because, well, for multiple reasons, but back in the day, you used to, many years ago, if you were a farmer, which most of America was at one point, or rancher, your your sons would go to work with you and learn the trade. And also they just got to be around you as a man and see how a man is supposed to act, because you interact with many adults during the day. You're going to run into problems, and they're just always watching. Your kids are always watching what you're doing. And so I like to bring them to jiu-jitsu just so they can see how I try to be a good man, and when I run my business, like how I try to do an honest way of running it as best I can. And then also they learn how to do jiu-jitsu. So it's something we can share with each other. We can talk at home with each other. And when I was during the pandemic, we weren't open very much for a portion of that. And then it was just difficult because I was working all day long to get them here. I'd have to go back home, pick them up, come back, and I was just being lazy about it. So, now I'm starting to make them train more, and I think that's going to be much better for us. For them too, they need to get their energy out. They need to exercise. They need to interact with people like how humans do, and then they see how I interact with people, which is good for them too. People don't realize how much your kids learn from you by just watching you, and the way you behave in front of them is the biggest lessons, not always what you say to them. And saying things to them is important too, talking to them and being honest with them and all these type of things and explaining life to them. But human interaction is everything. So much of our communication is through our body language, and if you are not around people, that is not good for children's development. Also, just they need to be around you and see how you operate, because you are the example of how they're supposed to grow up to be a person. Daughters look to their fathers. That's the type of person I'm going to marry. Hopefully you're not a piece of garbage and you're a good human being, so they don't run off with someone that's just not good for them, and vice versa too. So hopefully your wife is a wonderful woman and your boys have an example of what they're going to be. Oh, that is what a good woman is supposed to be. That's what I'm supposed to be like or be with, and not some crazy lunatic that's going to, they can ruin you. A bad partner will ruin you, male or female, doesn't matter. So, but part of that is on you. You have to, hopefully you married a good one, and the way that you treat your partner is also teaching them everything too. So, and I'm always conscious of that. I'm always trying to tell myself, what am I saying in front of my kids? What am I doing in front of my kids? And not that you're going to be perfect, but like you need to watch yourself and bring your kids around. If you're have a job that you can bring your kids to your job, every once in a while they should come to the job. Now, they might, if they're going to, it's a big office and that's not allowed, that's perfectly fine. But if you have a business, especially if you're a small business, you should bring your kids along. They should learn what it is. Even if they're never going to do it, they're never going to try to do that kind of business, they should at least be exposed to it. I think so many lessons they're going to learn that they're never going to learn in school. School, I think school is outdated, because most things you can just learn on your own at this point, besides the basics, reading, writing, arithmetic. But if you wanted to learn about Roman history, you can Google that pretty easily. There's many videos on it. There's books on it. Books are so easy to access now. It's kind of silly. So, going to a small business and learning a small business is, I wish I could do that with different various businesses when I was young. My father had his own business, and I did landscaping since I was like 6 years old. Now, it wasn't always about landscaping, but it was about how my father interacted with other people, his workers, customers, friends, even vendors. that was my example how to interact with those people. And they all are different the way you interact, and it's helpful that if your kids are around, they can learn that aspect of small business or big business, I guess, as well. The same thing, you're only going to meet so many people, and it's your interactions are going to definitely make an impact on business. So these are just some thoughts I've had about kind of parenting and me trying to do better than I have been, and hopefully take more time with just family time. But every day is a learning experience for your kids. So the more you can be around them, the more they can absorb you being a good person, and this is what a good person is the better it'll be. So that's it. Peace.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather beat the ladder. Instead of getting fatter, let the footsteps resume naturally.